How are you doing today? We're so happy to have you on with us.
We're
Great.
doing great. Thanks for having us,
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah, absolutely. Well, we were just at Fantastic Fest in Austin, of course, and there's so much buzz around this one. And you got to be so excited to unveil this to the unsuspecting world, right?
It was a blast. We felt really lucky to be there. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I don't think people are quite ready for what they're about to get into. What have you been telling people about what they can expect here without spoiling it?
Well, yeah, House of Spoilers.
Yes.
We are saying that we hope, that it should feel like a culinary journey that is a wild ride. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a particular day or scene or time that stood out to you where you're just looking around going, "Oh, I'm always going to remember this"?
I feel like the day she comes out of the earth, it was actually one of the earlier shooting days, and just really felt like Ariana was channeling something, and that felt really powerful, that energy on set, and it really just boosted our confidence early on in the shoot, even though that shoot night was crazy, and we of course never had as much time as we thought, but basically feeling like, wow, this is going to be special, the way Ariana is like channeling this journey.
Yeah. And then actually I remember this is kind of like the opposite extreme, but I remember when we did the dinner that's for the investor, and that was like one of the first days we had all the cast people in a room together, and we were like, oh yeah, these gonna be really funny too. Actually, just they were just like, oh, they are all their own characters, and they really know how to like be these people, and just their energies bouncing off one another was just like cracking us up, and that was a real nice like surprise for us. Just to, not that we knew that they were all funny, but just like, oh yeah, this thing has its own life, you know.
Yeah. Well, and people are looking up to what both of you are doing and thinking, see, this is the coolest job in the world, but it's so much harder than anyone can imagine. Oh, what kind of advice would you give to somebody that's looking up to you and thinking, this is what I want to do?
Well, I think that's why we made this movie, just to try to open up what the conversations around, like, there's one thing to like do a job, there's another thing to like devote yourself and like give your whole self to your line of work or your passion. And some of the aspects can be really challenging and can like push you to dark places, but also that's okay. It can like deliver you someplace new, and every movie and every project is like its own little journey that drops you off somewhere new in your life and transforms you and makes an imprint on you. So this movie was also that for Bridget and I in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and both the external struggles of, the maddening. I think that spiraling dinner where everything's going wrong is a great metaphor for shooting on set. Where you just literally everything you turn into is something going wrong, and it can be a really insane job to do. And I think, but also, doing anything hard, anything where you're stepping up and you're trying to be in a leadership role, you're trying to own your choices. We actually see this movie as a metaphor for that, and also the internal struggle of that. And that's the horror of this film. The corrosive self-doubt, the psychosis of it, the having to kind of remake yourself in your own version of a leader, not just mimicking what you've seen in the past, and trying to see if you can do it on your own terms and find your own voice.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of it too, is when we talk about that on the show, is that success mindset that you have to have, whether or not you're feeling it or not. And sometimes us creative types are really hard on ourselves. So what is it that both of you each kept in mind or keep in mind that keeps you on the right path even when things are tough or the shoots are hard?
Well, we do lean on each other a lot in the shoots. We really, throughout the process, we it's wonderful to have a partner to help you get through the hard stretches and to keep, the energy alive, because you get tired. And, this was really easy motto in a lot of ways, because it was like, we'd like turn to each other and be like, just channel the witch, just like be the witch, and we're just like keep reminding to like crawl through the tunnel and climb out and be the witch.
Yeah. We have all sorts of expressions that we use. to help us keep going. Finish strong is a really important one, you know, kind of the follow through and trying to remember that you have to continue it all the way through post or all the way through that last shot, the level of energy and dedication. And I think just also really working on things you care about, because you know, films will take everything from you in a way, you know, you really live it when you're shooting. If you have a family, you're uprooting your family. If you have or leaving them, you know, there's just a lot of more sacrifice than we necessarily knew that went into the lifestyle. And so all this is possible if you believe in what you're doing and you believe in what at least you're trying to do. And you can fail. That's okay. But at least if you try to do something that you believe in and you stand up for and you stand with, that can be the fuel that drives you, you know, so that really is what we need.
You know, like our best genre films, there's always so much going on beneath the surface, and I think people might get something different out of this depending on what they've been through or who they know. And what is it that each of you are hoping everyone will get out of it besides, oh, that was really cool, because they will think that.
We were talking about how we hope that people feel like they are a little bit seen, you know, if they've been working hard and are trying to break out of a mindset or an institution that feels like it's been holding back, if they just want to change into like a new way of being, a new way of operating. We hope that like there's parts of this movie that can, you know, speak to them and make them see that, you know, it's a common struggle and that hopefully you can get to the other side.
Yeah, and the metaphor of a witch is one we can learn from. It's, you know, it's a way to trust yourself, you know, to kind of step into that role and that archetype. And, you know, we hope we can reclaim that, and we hope we give somebody who's trying to do something hard, who's trying to learn to trust themselves, whether it's parenting a child or being a leader in your nurses ward, like anything, there's so many ways that women in particular have to learn to trust themselves and step up and own their own voice. And that's what this movie's about. Yeah.
I love that. Well, last thing, after this, I cannot wait to see what both of you have next for us. What do you have coming up? Thank you so much for doing this and taking the time today and the great answers. Look forward to talking to you again very, very soon.
Thank you, Paul.